Damon Vickers, 9 Points Capital Management, npm.us. Just in layman's terms, what do you see happening with the economy, with the dollar, with gold, with stocks, with bonds? You know, a basic boil down of what you see happening in the next 12 months and forward with the economy.
Well, I hate doing that. I really do, because the person inside me that says that he doesn't want to live in the future and he doesn't want to live in the past but wants to be present in the moment doesn't like to make projections. However, let's taking a look at where the moment is and where we're likely headed. What are we looking at? Dollar looks weaker because they continue to have to print money. This morning we came out with jobs. We still showed the economy losing, I think it was 85,000 jobs, but we had an upward revision of 4,000 in the prior month. We need to create a minimum of 100,000 new jobs every single month just to keep up with the growth of our population in the United States. And it's not as bad as it was. There's 700,000 loss in jobs last January, but we're still losing jobs. So there's a critical issue. The job situation is pretty serious. The stock market, the trend does appear to be up, though. However, even with all this bad news, equities appear to be rising. So the stock market actually is looking pretty good. Interest rates, bonds, we don't like bonds because rates, Alex, they're near zero. And in fact, 2 weeks ago, the Treasury did an auction where they convinced people and succeeded in selling them bonds with 0% interest. That's crazy. The last place you want to be is in bonds when interest rates are this low. Gold continues to look good. We own gold. Oil continues to look good. We own oil, and oil's climbed from $68 to $83 a barrel since I think I was on the air with you.
Where do you think oil's going, and what's going to happen with natural gas?
My God, you know, let's take the first part of that first, and we'll take the natural gas disaster second. The oil looks like it's headed higher. A lot of that's tied to the dollar. You know, we could see $90, $100 oil in the next 12 months. I think that's possible, but we'll see. In terms of natural gas, you know, it's just the trend on natural gas, Alex, has just been a bottomless pit, and it was seemingly cheap at every point along the way down. But natural gas is like Citigroup. I mean, it was from 50. It seemed cheap at 25 till it hit 15 and 10 and 5 and 3 and 97 cents. And natural gas has been kind of trending like that. However, you do have the feel-good environmentalist saying that they'd love to see the world more powered with natural gas, including T. Boone Pickens, but it has not materialized in prices. So all I can say about natural gas is the trend is still down.
Okay. And again, your company is 9 Points Capital Partners. The website is npm.us. Damon Vickers is our guest. I want to go to calls in the time we have left, but so much is going on in the world. What do you think about the underwear bomber situation? Have you seen the evidence of that being a hoax to launch the body scanners? What do you think of what's happening with Iran, with Yemen, all these talks of expanding wars? When empires get in trouble, they like to launch new wars.
They do. You're right, and it's good for their currencies too, because you get a flight to perceived safety because of global instability. In terms of the body scanners, my gosh, I don't know. I don't think it's particularly effective against PETN, which is the main thing they're mostly worried about, though, right? I mean, nothing really can spot PETN because what is it? Uric acid, which is an ingredient found in urine, and something else. However, you'd think they'd be able to sniff for it if there were higher concentrations. But in my case, Alex, I think that the alarm would go off every time. Okay. Let's see. As for the body scanners, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it makes me pretty nervous, though, Alex. I mean, do you have any concern about the possibility? I mean, you do want them to try to do everything they can to try to keep people from doing stupid things like blow out hatches in airplanes if you're on the airplane.
Damon, we can't give up our whole way of life because somebody might blow up an airplane. The body scanners wouldn't even protect it against that. It has all the earmarks of being a staged event. I don't want to march my daughters or your daughters through the naked body scanners that are recorded and saved by the government so they can then have your biometric ID and scan you from a distance. They've now admitted today that is what they're planning.
Let's talk about that for a second, the biometrics. And this is an area that we've been we are likely to hasten the RFID and the chip arrival and the tracking of human beings. That's likely to really continue to hasten and accelerate, I would say, in the next couple of years. It's just that much more efficient to track people.
But we need to say no to this because we do not have a loving global corporate system. These are predators from my research.
Right. Well, I'm not sure the government, what you can do ultimately about people's independent free will, and I guess that's where you need those thought scanners to kick in. And from an investment standpoint, there are probably some investors that would love to see an investment cycle in such an industry, because we've virtually had a
but I could invest with bank robbers
IPOs during the last 10 years. So I don't know.
But, Damon, I could invest with bank robbers and get a big return. I mean, we have to be moral about this. I mean, here's an example. Federal government, raw story reports, 12% of kids sexually abused by the government in custody. I mean, the government is filled statistically with more scum. We've got TSA running around having delusional breakdowns saying they're God and LAX. I mean, big government always hurts people.
I can't disagree with the fact that a high percentage of people that find themselves desirous to be, quote, corrections officers and or police have a sadistic bent, perhaps, and that's why they pursue jobs like that. And I think that's what we do.
And that's taught in criminology. The police know that about themselves, but the public's taught through the culture, oh no, the police aren't sadistic, and you need to let them just run wild and do whatever they want and keep us safe from underwear bombers.
Alex, most of the world is asleep. Most of the world is not awake. Most of the people medicate themselves on bad diets.
No, I know. Exactly. The world is asleep.
You're trying to wake people up. But to really wake people up, it mostly takes events, because people are spectators, and most people are not independent thinkers, Alex. And most of the global population will never be made up of people that are independent thinkers. Most people on the planet are followers, and they are sheep.
And this is what I always hear,
Damon. Followers.
But this is what I always hear from high-powered people. Like, you grew up around the Rockefellers and people. I, through life, have run into a lot of these people, and they'll say off record, the people are slaves. They want to be slaves. All you can do is protect yourself, Mr. Jones, and you ought to join us because the horde of people out there want to tear you apart. But that's the rationale to then do all these evil things, because just because the general public's evil doesn't mean that I have to become evil.
Agreed. We should choose light over darkness.
Well, we're certainly not seeing that from the establishment. I see darkness a lot worse from them than from the thumb-sucking baby public that wants a big daddy to take care of them. We got 2 segments left with Damon Vickers.